Hey everybody, Scott McGinnis here from Columbus, Ohio. We're at the Arnold Classic 2009. As you can see, sitting beside me is Don, Mr. Top Roll,
Mr.
Underwood.
Yeah.
Don, how you doing, brother?
Good to see you, brother.
Good, you too. So before we get into anything current, give me a little bit of background. What got you started in arm wrestling? How long ago was it?
Oh, 1990.
Okay.
Kind of an old man, you know. I took a couple years off, but for the most part, I've been pulling for almost 19 years now.
Okay.
And just love it, man. I can't get away from it.
So you took a few years off because I knew for a little stretch in there we didn't hear a whole lot about your name.
From 95 to 2000 for reasons I won't explain right here because it's kind of personal with another buddy of mine that had some problems and had some injuries I need to get healed up with, and we decided just to take a little time off. I pulled one tournament in 97. I actually got to pull Ing and Terzi.
Okay.
I had to beat him on the little guys. He didn't know me. We're talking about, we was in a little place called Across the River. It was right by the Mississippi River. Nothing around at all, and this guy comes in here thinking he's just going to own everybody. And of course, I'm just like, he's like, yeah, I pulled 8 classes, you beat me. Anyway, yeah, took a little time off, came back in 2000, and had a good run, you know, for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then I kind of fell off the map.
Yeah.
I got into pro wrestling, so I was a superstar, if you will. You know, I felt that young guy, had opportunities, and got into the wrong lifestyle. So
I just don't not mean to cut you off, but so the lifestyle that we've probably all heard about in pro wrestling, it's for real.
You know what? You can either make yourself or break yourself, and I broke myself because I was in the Indies, which is independent wrestling. We had a very good promotion. I was incredible. Like I said, I'm going to send you some tapes and show you. I'd like to put them on there so people can understand how good I really was. But when you start getting the glitz and glamour, sometimes mentalities take over. And I was like VIP here, VIP here. And then one thing led to another, and I made some bad mistakes. So 4 or 5 years, I really did some bad things. And I don't think I need to explain that to everybody. The lifestyle just kind of explains itself. You see it on TV with, sober house, if you will, stuff like that. Just the wrong decision. So therefore, I went from 60 to 0 pretty quick.
Okay. And I've always wanted to know this. So is the roar of the crowd that intoxicating?
Well,
just the roar of the crowd. Is it? I mean, you're going out and putting on the show. Yeah, but even being okay, that's the baby face. If you're a heel,
right? So you know a little bit
about it.
Yeah, you're talking a little bit. I was always the heel. I always wanted to be the guy. I would go under, which would lose, because I wanted the crowd to pop for me losing.
Yeah.
So is it that intoxicating? Absolutely, because I'm willing to put myself under to a lesser athlete or a lesser performer.
You just want them calling your name, whether they're cheering or jeering.
Everybody spitting at me. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I've said things to people that I wouldn't say to my worst enemy.
Yeah, okay.
And I've been called everything in the book, but the wrestling world is another world. But unfortunately, it is very slowly going away. It will be gone.
Okay.
So what we're looking for, and what I'm trying to do with Top Roll, is you see me act like an ass, you see me always, and I do sometimes I go, Don, why'd you do that? I mean, it's just ridiculous, But at the same time, I want to see arm wrestling take over for pro wrestling, and I believe that because it's a legitimate sport, not saying that wrestling isn't a sport, but it is predetermined. You know what I'm saying? I hit you, you have to sell it to make me look good. Well, this is the real sport.
Okay. And I know there's going to be people out there who do not want to see arm wrestling go the way of wrestling. Where's that line between entertainment and making an ass of yourself?
Well, the thing about it is I want the crowd to be excited.
Okay.
Whether you hate me or love me, you're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to remember me because I'm doing something that nobody else is. Travis is a bad guy, and he's pretty much the only other guy that does kind of what I do.
Okay, yeah.
But this is a real sport.
Yeah.
We're not pulling punches.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to sell me. You have to beat me or I have to beat you. That's the difference. Now, can we create characters? Absolutely. But there's a fine line.
Yes.
Because it's real. And people need to understand that. And they will when they see somebody's bone pop out their arm or something like that. You see where I'm at?
Okay, and I do. So Top Roll was started, I was under the impression that Top Roll was started basically in the beginning as a clothing line.
It was.
It was? That started that way?
That is a fact.
Selling your product?
Yes.
Okay, so
just,
now
just a vision I had, and
so tell us a little bit about the vision then.
Well, the vision was I'm watching Tap Out.
Okay.
It's very simple, and I go, this is the greatest sport in the world. MMA is two people punching each other in the face. I can walk out my front door and do that any day of the week.
Yeah.
But can you get on a professional arm wrestling table and arm wrestle a legitimate opponent? No, it doesn't happen every day. No, you go to a bar, you can drink, and you can do whatever leads to a fist fight, and that's what's really given this sport a bad name. But now what I'm trying to do is put Top Roll on my shirts, provide a product for what I think is the greatest sport in the world, right? Yep. That's what I want to see is people wearing my product, which I've seen. And then I decide, hey, let's do some tournaments. Why not, And let's pep it up. Let's bring the crowds in. Because if you know as well as I do, when you go to an arm wrestling tournament, who's there? Arm wrestlers and spouses, arm wrestlers and kids, arm wrestlers and friends.
Right.
Well, the difference between my tournament and theirs is I go out in the community and I sell what I call VIP tables.
Okay.
I give them refreshments, appetizer bars, and I bring in the crowds. And then we pop the crowd. When you say, is it worth the pop? Absolutely.
So are you putting on quote-unquote tournaments?
Yes.
Or is, because I see all your championship belt matches are coming up. So, but is it a tournament plus these things in addition to these things?
Super matches come first. What we do is I've spent $400 on 3 belts. Okay, so it's $1,200 is what I have in these.
Okay.
I got some really fancy, heavy-duty belts from ringside. And what I did is I modified the boxing stuff to the arm wrestling stuff.
Okay.
And I gave some guys, we started from ground zero. Okay, these guys came in, they arm wrestled, and they got the belt. Now it's up to them to keep it.
Okay.
I've had 4 heavyweight champions. I've had 2 middleweight champions, and Bill Logsdon's the only lightweight champion I've ever had.
Okay.
Now, see people go, well, Bill Logsdon, who's that guy? He ain't nothing. Why is he holding this belt? And the fact of the matter is today he's undefeated. He's in the top of the bracket with Razor Rao and Britt Rockers right behind him.
Okay, so just for a clip for everyone who's watching this afterwards, so this is the end of day 1 at the Arnold.
Right.
Right. So we're down to the top 3 in each class.
Yes.
And a guy pulling for you in top roll, Bill Logsdon.
I trained since I started training him in 01. And him and I really didn't do a whole lot of training. I taught him, basics, here and there. And he did his own thing, off and on. But for the last year, he's been under my wing. Not only have I helped him, but he's helped me get better.
Okay.
And
I know you're going to introduce us to him a bit later on.
Sure.
So I just want to touch on, and I'd probably get blasted if I didn't mention. If I did mention, I know I'd get a phone call about it. That's for sure. So last week up at People Let Us Tournament, you had super match right-handed and left-handed with the Grippler.
Superman from Canada.
Well, the Grippler, Ian Carnegie.
Good guy. I like Ian a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you feel going into that matchup?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I was nervous because I don't know him.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to pull a guy that was ranked 3 spots ahead of him a couple weeks ago in Illinois named Rob Graham.
Rob, okay.
Rob's a phenomenally strong guy. Probably Brzezinski strong in a certain position, but very vulnerable to other techniques. So unfortunately, he got knocked out. So I'm thinking, this guy's right behind him. And now I got John Milne. How do you say it?
John Milne.
Milne.
Yeah.
He's emailing me, excuse me, and telling me how good this guy is. And he's woo, Grippler, train, war wagon. And I got to the point where it almost got me nervous because I didn't know, I don't know who this guy is. And then I start scouting him on the videos. Your videos, I go to, Armsportvideos, and I'm looking at the guy. And he beats big guy.
Big Rick Heidebrecht.
Big, I was like, Rick's got Ron Bethwin. This guy might be good. So what really pissed me off was the nervousness that I had to go through for 2 weeks. So when I got there, I was angry. Okay. Not at him. No. But just for the fact being as he's going to want to pull me and he's talking all this trash. So, and you've seen the match. So yeah. I was kind of rude. But I felt it necessary. I thought that I wanted to humble the young man because he's got so much potential. But yet, I think he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. There's a lot of guys out there, and I think you know a few of them that you could pick that say, hey, that would be a little better matchup. And I don't think I've gotten the recognition in the last year because I'm fairly new coming back.
Just coming back again, yeah.
And I don't think people remember 2001, when I was almost unbeatable.
Well, it really is. It's a case of what have you done for me lately.
Right.
And right there, let's take a little break right there. And cut it off. I see our refreshments are here, so we'll be right back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, Scott McGinnis here at back at the Arnold in focus with Donnie Underwood. And okay, Don, where we left off, we just finished off talking about the Grippler and Carnegie and your matchup with there.
Right.
So we touched a little bit on top roll.
Right.
So you've got a let's plug your event coming up. You got an event coming
March
up.
19th.
March 19th.
We got guys coming from, I can't even tell you how many states, Scott. I mean, you know, I do Thursday night tournaments, which is pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
If you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
It's even harder for someone to come on a Thursday than they travel on the weekends because they got to take a day off. So not only are you spending money, but you're losing money by taking a day off.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm trying to build, because Kansas City is such a nightlife place, it's hard to get into a good venue on a weekend because they're already packed.
It's already packed. They don't need
so
you.
We're rolling into the weekend. So what we're trying to do is give people opportunity to have a good time before the weekend and remember us, you know. Brass Rail, March 19th. We got super matches on the line. We got Bill Logsdon, which I'm going to tell you right now, could very well win the Arnolds tomorrow, and that's a big, big honor. Chris Chandler's my middleweight champion, pulling a young man, Doug Allen, out of Ohio, that's eventually going to be an incredible, incredible arm wrestler. I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
And then I don't like to pull my own tournaments, Scott. I just don't like doing that. I'd rather sit behind the scenes. But Nick, it was supposed to be myself and Rich Lupke's, and not because of my choice, but Rich Lupke's actually called and said, can I pull you for that title?
Okay. Since
Nick Zena's injured.
Yeah.
And it was a respect thing for Rich because I think he's the greatest guy in the world. And I said, absolutely. He said, Don, you scare me. And I went, Rich, have you seen yourself lately?
Yeah.
You know?
For Rich to scare anybody is saying something, isn't it?
You know, it's unbelievable.
And then for those who don't know, Rich and his wife were involved in a car accident.
Absolutely. And they are fine. They are okay.
Yeah, they're definitely getting better. They're involved in a fairly serious car accident on the highway.
Well, let's put it this way. He drives a full-size pickup truck.
Okay.
And another full-size Dodge at that, which they say, you know, big time, came across the median and head on. So the only thing that saved his life was the seatbelt.
Okay.
And he actually, I talked to him last night. They're doing fine.
Good.
And it's you know, it's sad because not only is it sad because of what happened, it's sad because Rich just came back from a bicep injury.
Yes.
And not only to get respect in arm wrestling, you've got to earn it. For one, you can like somebody. Yeah. And you can say, hey, keep doing what you're doing. But honestly, to get respect, you've got to beat the best. Or at least give it a hell of a try.
Yeah, for sure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
And unfortunately, I should say, he's not going to be able to make it. I did talk to Nick Zena today. Okay. His shoulder injury is healed. Okay. And it's going to be him and I. So, so looking forward to that. He's a very talented kid. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm a new Don Underwood. I'm not the same guy. I think people agree with me nowadays. Okay. You know? Okay, so that's coming up on March 19th. March 19th again. Good, and, you know, you can get a hold of me at toprolleague.com. Okay. You know, on Northeast Board, anytime PM me, let me know what you guys want to know, and I'll give you the information. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Okay. So why don't you introduce us to your new young guy here? And Bill Logsdon. Let me tell you a little story. There's Bill Logsdon. Knew a little bit about arm wrestling, liked it, did it in high school. Another guy named Russ Patagler, a good friend of ours, actually heard me on the radio, and we was doing a spot up in South Dakota for the Sturgis event. It was me. I took second to John that year. Okay. And Russ goes, I heard about arm wrestling on the radio. I got to find this guy. So what happened is they researched a little bit, and they found me. Bill went to a tournament, and so I trained him. I trained Russ. And then we kind of bounced off each other for about 5 or 6 years. Well, last year in April, Bill Logsdon decided he wanted to come back. So we went to a tournament in Indiana with Mike West. Mike West beat him. And they just ate at him and ate at him. And I said, Bill, if you stick with me, not only will I make you better, but you'll make me better. So let's introduce Bill Logsdon because he is undefeated right now over not only Brent Rockers, the national champion, 3-time national champion last year, but he actually beat Razor and Razor beat Brent. So Bill Logsdon, if you want to step in here, we'll have a little chat with you. Come on, step in and Bill, we'll have a chat with you as well. All right, so this is Bill Logsdon. And where are you from, Bill? Outside of Razor. Kansas City, Missouri? Okay. All right, so you've been arm wrestling now for how long?
First tournament was in 01. You know, kind of hit and miss for me. You know, I didn't really get serious till about a year ago. Okay. You know, something I never trained for. I done decent at tournaments and went to a few nationals, you know, and pulled decent, but you know, with no training, you know, it's hard to compete with guys that train all the time for this. So, you know, Woody got me lined out. You know, we got a good deal going with the gym.
Okay.
We hit it pretty regular, and now I'm starting to see results of that. You know, it's been a lot of time.
Well, yeah. So you got to be pretty pleased with your performance today so far.
Yeah. You know, I really didn't expect it. You know, I mean, didn't really know what to expect. There's a lot of guys that I haven't pulled, and you know, I mean, I know I'm continuously getting better, but you know, I really didn't see myself doing this today. Really, to be honest with you,
that's what frustrates me. I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
Not to cut you off. You know, it frustrates me because I know how good Bill is because I train with him every week. And he comes in, we're on our way down here on this ungodly long trip that we drove. But, you know, he's saying, you know, I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to do this. And I told him, I said, you know what, I want to hear a positive attitude. And I want you to know that you can win this. You can do this if you really want it. And you know what? Prize is in the pudding, man. Right now, he's sitting right in the middle of it.
Well, you're sitting on the A side.
A side undefeated. Right. And both of those guys have a loss.
Yeah, so one of those.
We're talking about two of the best 98-pounders in the country.
So one of those guys is going home after the first round tomorrow and faces you in the finals.
I believe both of them are.
So you got to be feeling pretty good about your chances now.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I do feel really good. You know, I mean, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, it's just me and the other guy on the table.
That's right.
Who wants it the worst? I mean, it's just the way I see it.
Okay, and so then
I'm not a big talker. I don't like to brag or anything. You know, I mean,
we'll let Don do that for you. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he can handle that.
You know, as long as he says something, you know. But
this guy,
you know, I mean, they're both really awesome guys, really good. So I'm just happy to be in the position I'm in.
Okay, good. And so you got a championship match coming up in a couple of weeks.
Corey Miller.
Corey Miller.
That's who you're pulling?
Corey Miller called him out.
He's coming up in weight, and I'm going down. I'm going to 85.
Okay.
I weighed in at this one for 192, so
yeah.
Shouldn't be too bad.
So you have to drop down to 185 to pull Corey?
Yeah, I have the belt, and the belt cuts off at 185.
Oh, okay.
You know, he wants to come up and pull for it, so I'm looking forward to it.
If you don't mind me asking a question,
you know, you go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I would like to know what you think about a 154-pounder, as good as Corey is. And I know that you're not a well-known arm wrestler at this point. Now, after tomorrow, everybody's going to be like, who's this and what, and they want to know this and that. But what do you feel like when a 154-pounder, a guy that's so much lighter than you, as good as he is, says, I'm going to come up and take your belt? And not only that, but Chris Chandler backs it up. What do you think about that?
Well, they don't know me. You know, I mean, if I was in his position and wanted as many tournaments as he has, you know, I might think that too. I mean, you know, when he gets to Kansas City, we'll see how it pans out.
Well, what do you see happening?
I think I'll control him. You know, I think I'll control him. I don't think he's going to handle my hand or my back pressure.
Okay.
But you know, we'll see how it pans out. You know.
So Don, what are the?
You never know. Matches, different techniques and styles make matches. So,
that's a fact.
No, that's definitely a fact. So what's the format? Is this like a 3 out of 5 format?
It's all negotiable. See, that's what's good about my tournament.
Right and left-handed.
Right and left-handed.
He will not pull anybody unless it's right and left-handed. Bill actually said this to me: if you can't beat me right and left-handed and be a better arm wrestler than me, you're not going to take my belt. Now, there's guys that'll come in maybe and pull him right-handed and beat him, but can he beat him both arms? That's the thing about top roll. Everything's negotiable. If you can't pull left-handed, I'm not going to say you can't come pull, but there's going to have to be some rules and some negotiation involved.
Okay.
So everything's negotiable.
Okay, so you don't have a standard set, this is what we're doing, and
if you want to pull 9 matches and he agrees for it, then good for you.
Okay.
You know, Michael Todd, he'll probably want to come pull 13 because I'll beat him the first 9. You know, and he'll get me the other one.
No, I think he's going to sit over there and say, I'm going to give you the first 6, Woody. You want 13, I'm going to give you the first 6, just so I have something to shoot for.
I think he'll agree with you that I'm not the same guy that I used to be, and I'm getting better by the day.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me.
Scott, we
pleasure to meet you, Bill.
Appreciate us do this.
Oh, man, it was a good time. Good time.
Yeah, Armsportvideos, support this guy because he's doing everything out of pocket. Thank you, Scott.
All right, thanks.
Top roll.
There you go.
Top roll, baby.
Thanks, guys.